Time is 6:11, and it's time for take a look at your money. Each month, the Conference Board releases its monthly Consumer Confidence Index, which serves as a key measure on consumer optimism in the United States. The board reported the index rose to its highest level in 6 months. The jump in consumer optimism comes at a time of growing uncertainty on the future outlook of the American economy. And financial advisor Mark Grevicheski joining us now on Zoom to break this down for us. Good morning, Mark.
Morning, Devin. Happy Monday and a happy Labor Day to you and certainly all of our viewers.
Absolutely. So give us your thoughts on this latest report on consumer confidence.
Yeah, well, the Consumer Confidence Index is relevant, so to speak. Is that confidence and optimistic consumers, do tend to spend their money a little bit more freely, which then ultimately drives and powers our economy forward. The Consumer Confidence Index has a benchmark of 100. Any level above 100 indicates an optimism by consumers on jobs, income, the economy, but below 100 actually conveys pessimism. Now, on the positive side, Devin, in August, the Consumer Confidence Index was reported at 103.3. As you mentioned, a 6-month high, and the second consecutive month above that all-important 100 level, which again is kind of that dividing line between optimism and pessimism. But on the concerning side, a level of 103.3 means that consumers are only slightly optimistic. And as we've seen over the past 6 months or so, the Consumer Confidence Index has kind of bounced back and forth up and below that 100 level. And this conveys that, there's just not a lot of conviction behind this current level of optimism.
Now, in their latest report, the Conference Board cited a large gap between short-term confidence and longer-term confidence. What's causing that difference between the two?
Yeah, the Consumer Confidence Index is actually made up of two components. The first is the present situation index, which measures consumers' degree of confidence right now. The second is the future expectations index, which measures consumers' outlook over the next 6 months. The present situation index in August was reported at 134.4, which is actually quite high. Remember, the 100 level is that dividing line between optimism and pessimism. But the future expectations index, though, Devin, is very low at just 82.5. And the main culprit behind this, this pessimistic longer-term outlook is a weakening labor market. If you remember, in July, the national unemployment rate jumped to that 3-year high of 4.3%. So that longer-term outlook is much more negative because of this anxiety and apprehension over that weakening labor market.
Now, to further your point on the labor market, on Friday, the Department of Labor will release its monthly employment report for August. What are we expecting from that report, and could it potentially give a boost to consumer confidence?
So if you remember last month, that July employment report was fairly disappointing. Again, the unemployment rate jumped to a 3-year high of 4.3%, and just 114,000 new jobs were added, one of the lowest monthly gains in about 4 years. Now, the August employment report is expected to be a little bit better. The unemployment rate is expected to hover, around 4.2, 4.3%. With around 160,000 new jobs being added. But, on a month-over-month basis, you're going to get some good reports and you're going to get some bad reports. I think to change this narrative, so to speak, we're going to have to see this steady string of good, solid employment reports. But unfortunately, we just haven't seen that yet. And hopefully on Friday with the August employment report, hopefully that string of more positive reports will start to come.
All right. Thank you, Mark, as always, and we'll see you next Monday. Have a great holiday.
You as well. Thank you.